Many people go through life believing they are merely human, shaped by genetics, environment, and personal choices. The physical form, bound by flesh and bone, appears to be all there is to existence. Yet, deep within the core of every individual, a whisper of something greater lingers. This whisper does not come from earthly origins. It comes from something far beyond the tangible world. It is the echo of a divine truth, one that declares humanity is not merely human, but something more, something transcendent, something eternal. The scriptures and ancient texts speak of a reality that goes beyond what the eyes can see. They tell of a moment when God shaped man, breathing into him the breath of life. That breath was not ordinary. It was not just air filling the lungs. It was the very essence of something divine, something that set humanity apart from the rest of creation. This divine breath was more than just existence. It was a gift, an impartation of something otherworldly. It marked humanity as different, as beings who carried within them a spark of the divine. This truth contradicts the idea that people are merely physical entities moving through time. The world conditions individuals to believe they are limited. It teaches that people are bound by physical laws, confined to human frailties, and ultimately powerless against the forces of time and decay. But deep inside, the soul knows there is more. It yearns for something beyond what is visible. It hungers for meaning, for connection, for understanding. This hunger is not just emotional or intellectual. It is spiritual. It is the call of something greater, something that surpasses the limitations of the human body and mind. Throughout history, civilizations have instinctively recognized this reality. Myths, legends, and religious beliefs often depict humanity as more than just flesh. Ancient cultures spoke of gods mingling with mortals, of celestial beings interacting with humankind, and of hidden truths that only the enlightened could grasp. Even in modern times, people search for ways to transcend their limitations. They look to science, philosophy, and spirituality for answers, driven by an innate sense that they are more than they seem. The words, "You are not 100% human," carry a profound meaning. They challenge the notion that people are solely defined by their earthly form. They hint at a mystery woven into the very fabric of existence, a mystery that suggests that humanity carries something divine, something supernatural. This idea is not new. The scriptures say you are fearfully and wonderfully made, emphasizing that human existence is more than mere biological happenstance. This statement is not just poetic. It reveals a truth about the nature of humanity. The evidence of this truth is all around. The human spirit cannot be measured, weighed, or dissected. It cannot be contained within scientific formulas or medical diagnoses. There is something about humanity that defies mere physical explanation. The ability to create, to love, to hope, to dream. These are not just functions of a biological machine. They point to something deeper, something that cannot be replicated or manufactured. They reveal the presence of something beyond mere flesh. If humanity were simply physical, then the longings of the soul would have no meaning. The desire to connect with the divine, the yearning for eternity, the hunger for purpose, all these would be illusions. Yet they persist, refusing to be silenced. They drive people to seek, to explore, to discover. They reveal that within every human being there is a divine imprint, an unmistakable mark of something more. This mark is a reminder that humanity is not just human. There are moments in life when this truth becomes undeniable. A sudden feeling of peace in the midst of chaos, an inexplicable sense of being watched over, a dream that feels more real than waking life. These are glimpses of something beyond the ordinary. They hint at a reality that coexists with the physical world but is not limited by it. They whisper of a divine presence, an unseen force that moves through existence, guiding, shaping, and reminding people of who they truly are. Many have experienced moments when they felt something stirring deep within them, a knowing that could not be explained. It is in these moments that the truth shines brightest. Humanity is not just flesh and blood. There is something else at work, something that cannot be easily defined. This is why people feel drawn to spirituality, why they seek something greater than themselves. It is an internal compass pointing toward the truth that they are not 100% human. God's words resonate through time, reminding people that they were created for more. The limitations that seem to define human existence are merely illusions. The spirit within is not bound by the same constraints as the body. It reaches beyond time and space, longing for connection with its source. This connection is not just a vague idea, it is a reality that can be felt, experienced, and embraced. The world may try to convince people that they are nothing more than highly evolved creatures, products of chance and biology. But something deep within resists this idea. There is a voice inside, a persistent whisper that refuses to be ignored. It reminds people that they are more, that they were made for something greater. This voice is the echo of God's truth, calling people to remember their true identity. To accept this truth is to step into a new understanding of existence. It is to realize that the struggles of life are not meaningless, that the challenges faced are part of a greater purpose. It is to see beyond the temporary and embrace the eternal. It is to understand that life is not just about survival, but about awakening to the reality of who people truly are. The divine spark within cannot be extinguished. It remains, waiting to be recognized, waiting to be embraced. It is a reminder that humanity is not bound by earthly definitions. There is something supernatural at work, something that goes beyond human comprehension. This truth is both a mystery and a revelation. It is the key to understanding what it means to truly live. People search for meaning in many ways. Some look to success, wealth, or knowledge. Others seek fulfillment in relationships, experiences, or accomplishments. But beneath all these pursuits is a deeper need, a need to understand their true nature. The realization that they are not just human changes everything. It transforms the way they see themselves and the world around them. There is a reason why people are drawn to stories of transformation, of awakening, of discovering hidden potential. These stories resonate because they reflect a deeper reality. They are echoes of the truth that humanity carries something more within them. They point to the fact that the limitations people believe in are not absolute. The concept of being more than human is not just philosophical or religious. It is a reality woven into existence itself. It is found in the very essence of what it means to be alive. It is the reason people strive, create, and dream. It is the force that drives them to seek truth, to connect with the divine, and to transcend their perceived limitations. This realization is both a challenge and an invitation. It challenges the belief that life is ordinary, that people are powerless against the forces of nature and time, and it invites them to embrace the truth that they were created for something greater. It is an awakening, a call to step into the fullness of their identity. God's words echo across time, reminding humanity of their true nature. They are not merely human. They are not just flesh and blood. They carry within them something divine, something eternal. This truth changes everything. It redefines existence, transforming the way people see themselves and the world. It is a truth that cannot be. Humanity carries a divine spark, a truth that has been echoed through generations, scriptures, and spiritual experiences. This spark is not merely symbolic. It is an intrinsic part of existence, woven into the very essence of human identity. It is the breath of God, the unseen force that sets people apart from the rest of creation. It is the reason humanity has an unshakable sense of purpose, a relentless pursuit of meaning, and a deep longing for something beyond the physical world. This divine spark is not confined to any one culture, religion, or philosophy. It is universal, an undeniable part of the human experience that transcends time and space. The moment God breathed life into man, something extraordinary happened. This was not just the animation of a lifeless body, but the impartation of something beyond the material realm. Unlike the animals, who were formed and given life, humans received something more, something supernatural, something eternal. This divine essence is what allows people to think beyond survival, to create, to imagine, to love, and to aspire towards something greater than themselves. It is the reason why the human experience is filled with both unexplainable longing and moments of divine connection. The soul longs for something beyond the physical, an undeniable reality that has existed within humanity since the beginning of time. This longing is not merely a product of human imagination or a response to life's uncertainties. It is something deeply ingrained, something that cannot be silenced, no matter how much the physical world tries to suppress it. It is a hunger that goes beyond survival, beyond personal desires, beyond material success. It is a call from within, an invitation to seek something greater, something eternal, something beyond what the eyes can see and the hands can touch. People spend their lives searching for fulfillment in many ways. Some seek it in wealth, believing that financial success will bring them peace. Others chase after power, thinking that control over their circumstances will satisfy their inner void. Some turn to relationships, hoping that love from another person will complete them. Others pursue knowledge, believing that understanding the world will give them clarity about their existence. Yet, no matter how much they achieve, no matter how much they acquire, the longing remains. There is always a sense that something is missing, that there is more to life than what the physical world offers. This inner hunger is not accidental. It is a built-in awareness that the physical world is not the ultimate reality. It is a whisper from the soul, a reminder that there is something beyond what is seen, something beyond the temporary. The fact that people even contemplate meaning and purpose, that they ask questions about life, death, and eternity, is proof that they were designed for something greater than just existing in the physical realm. If humanity were purely physical, then the deep questions of the soul would have no place. Throughout history, cultures and civilizations have acknowledged this longing in different ways. Ancient texts, religious traditions, and philosophical teachings all reflect the idea that people are more than just bodies moving through time. They speak of an unseen realm, of a divine presence, of a reality beyond the tangible. Even those who do not adhere to any religious belief often feel this inner yearning. It manifests as a sense of wonder when looking at the vastness of the universe, a moment of deep connection when experiencing love, and unexplainable peace in times of uncertainty. These are all reminders that the soul is reaching for something beyond the limitations of the physical world. There are moments in life when this longing becomes more apparent. In times of great loss, when the things of the world fail to provide comfort, the soul searches for something deeper. When faced with the reality of death, people instinctively look beyond the physical, questioning what comes next. Even in moments of great joy, there is a fleeting nature to earthly pleasures. A beautiful sunset, a heartfelt conversation, a moment of triumph, all these things bring happiness, but they do not last forever. There is always a part of the soul that wishes the moment could be eternal, that the beauty and goodness experienced in life could last beyond time. This desire for permanence is a reflection of the soul's true nature. The physical world is temporary, constantly changing and fading. Everything that can be seen, touched, and experienced with the senses is subject to time. Yet, the longing within the soul is not bound by these limitations. It is constant, unshaken by circumstances, always present beneath the surface of human existence. This is because the soul itself is not bound by the physical world. It is connected to something beyond, something eternal. The longing is not just a feeling, it is a signpost pointing toward a deeper reality that cannot be ignored. This desire for something more is evident in the way people seek connection. Human relationships at their core are about more than just companionship. They are a reflection of the soul's need for something greater. When people love, they are tapping into something beyond the physical. Love is not just a chemical reaction or a social construct. It is an expression of something eternal. This is why true love endures beyond circumstances, why people sacrifice for those they care about, why the bond between souls can be stronger than any physical force. Love is a glimpse of the eternal, a taste of something that exists beyond the limitations of the physical world. Art, music, literature, and creative expression all point to this same longing. People create because they are trying to capture something that words and images can only hint at. A song that moves the heart, a painting that stirs the soul, a story that lingers in the mind. These things resonate because they speak to something beyond the tangible. They are attempts to express the inexpressible, to bring into the physical world a glimpse of something that exists beyond it. Creativity is one of the clearest manifestations of the soul's longing, a way of reaching beyond what is seen and touching something eternal. Even science, with all its discoveries and advancements, cannot escape this reality. The more people learn about the universe, the more they realize how vast and mysterious it truly is. The deeper they explore the workings of the human mind, the more they encounter things that cannot be fully explained. Consciousness, morality, the very concept of beauty. These things go beyond what can be measured or studied. They point to something greater, something that cannot be confined to scientific explanations. The fact that humanity has the capacity to wonder, to seek, to ask why, is itself proof that people are not just physical beings. The soul's longing is not a flaw or a weakness. It is not something to be ignored or suppressed. It is a calling, an invitation to seek beyond the physical, to recognize that there is more to life than what can be seen. It is the reason why people feel a sense of purpose even when they cannot explain it. It is why they strive for meaning even in the face of adversity. The longing is not a burden, it is a guide, leading people toward the truth of their existence. This longing also explains why temporary pleasures never truly satisfy. People can achieve everything they ever wanted, but if they do not acknowledge the deeper hunger within them, they will always feel empty. The soul is not designed to be satisfied by material things. Wealth, power, success. These things may bring momentary happiness, but they do not fulfill the deepest parts of who people are. This is why so many who seem to have everything still feel lost. They have tried to feed the soul with things that were never meant to satisfy it. Many try to silence this longing with distractions. Entertainment, busyness, endless pursuit of goals. These things can temporarily mask the hunger, but they cannot remove it. The longing will always return, sometimes in quiet moments, sometimes in unexpected ways. A stillness in the night, a question that lingers in the mind, an unshakable feeling that there must be more. These are all reminders that the soul cannot be ignored. It will always seek what it was created for. This longing is a gift. It is what drives people to seek, to grow, to connect. It is what compels them to look beyond themselves, to search for truth, to pursue something greater. It is the reason why faith has endured throughout history, why people have always sought the divine, why they continue to ask the questions that matter most. The hunger within is not something to be feared, it is something to be embraced. No matter how much the physical world tries to define existence, the soul knows there is more. It resists being confined to what can be seen and touched. It refuses to be satisfied with things that fade. It continues to call, to whisper, to remind people that they were made for something beyond this world. It is a voice that cannot be silenced, a truth that cannot be denied, a reality that is woven into the very fabric of human existence. Life's limitations are illusions, a concept that is difficult for many to grasp because the world teaches people to believe in barriers. From an early age, individuals are conditioned to accept limits. Limits on ability, limits on potential, limits on what is possible. Society, education, personal experiences, and even past failures reinforce the idea that certain things are beyond reach. People are taught to measure success by tangible achievements, to define their worth by external validation, and to accept circumstances as fixed. However, beneath this conditioning, there is a deeper truth, one that has always existed, but is often forgotten. The divine essence within each person is not bound by the physical world, and the limits people perceive are not absolute. The belief in limitations is largely a product of perception. People see obstacles and assume they are permanent, but in reality they are often created by the mind. Fear, doubt, and past experiences shape how individuals view themselves and their abilities. When someone encounters failure, they begin to believe they are incapable. When they face rejection, they start to think they are unworthy. When they experience hardship, they assume that suffering is their destiny. These beliefs solidify over time, creating an invisible cage that holds them back from stepping into their true potential. Yet, history is filled with examples of those who refuse to accept these illusions. Innovators, leaders, and spiritual seekers have all demonstrated that the impossible is often just a barrier of the mind. Those who have broken through perceived limits have done so not because they were special, but because they saw beyond what the physical world presented. They recognized that their potential was not confined to what others told them, that their abilities were not dictated by external circumstances. The greatest breakthroughs in human history have come from those who rejected the idea that limits were real. Scientists who defied conventional knowledge, artists who created what had never been imagined, individuals who overcame overwhelming odds. These stories are not exceptions. They are reminders of what is possible when people stop believing in barriers. Every person has the same capacity to break through limitations because the power within is greater than any obstacle. Fear is one of the strongest forces that reinforce the illusion of limitations. It convinces people that they should not take risks, that they should stay within what is familiar and safe. Fear tells them that failure is final, that they are not strong enough, that they will be judged or ridiculed. Yet, fear itself is an illusion. It exists only in the mind, created by thoughts about what could go wrong rather than what could go right. When people move beyond fear, they discover that what once seemed impossible is within reach. The physical body itself reflects this truth. The body is designed to adapt, to grow stronger, to overcome challenges. When a person trains their body, it responds by becoming more resilient. When they push beyond their comfort zone, they build endurance. The same principle applies to the mind and spirit. Growth happens when people challenge their limits, when they step into the unknown, when they refuse to accept the barriers placed before them. The unseen realm is more real than what the eyes perceive, a truth that has existed since the beginning of time, but has been obscured by the distractions of the physical world. The senses deceive, making people believe that what they see, touch, and experience in the material realm is all there is. Yet, deep within, there is a knowing, an awareness that there is something beyond, something greater, something unseen yet undeniably present. This reality has been acknowledged in every culture, every civilization, every spiritual teaching, because it is woven into the very essence of existence. The physical world is temporary, constantly shifting, subject to decay and change. What is here today is gone tomorrow. Buildings crumble, empires fall, bodies age, and seasons pass. Yet there is something within that does not fade, something that remains unchanged despite the passage of time. This is the eternal essence, the divine imprint that exists beyond the limitations of the material world. It is the part of every person that is not bound by physical constraints, the part that belongs to the unseen realm. Throughout history, people have encountered moments where the veil between the physical and the spiritual has been lifted. These moments come in different forms: a sense of divine presence in nature, an unexplainable feeling of peace in times of crisis, an intuition that defies logic, a dream that carries a message beyond understanding. These glimpses of the unseen are not coincidences. They are reminders that the spiritual realm is not distant, but interwoven with every aspect of life. The unseen is not separate from the seen, it is the foundation of it. The human mind struggles to comprehend what cannot be measured, yet the evidence of the unseen is everywhere. Love cannot be touched, yet it is felt. Thoughts cannot be seen, yet they shape reality. Consciousness itself is an enigma, an awareness that goes beyond physical processes. The very fact that people seek meaning, ask questions about existence, and yearn for something greater is proof that they are not confined to the material world. There are moments when the unseen breaks through in undeniable ways. A prayer answered in a way that defies explanation. A coincidence so precise that it cannot be dismissed as random. A near-death experience that transforms a person's entire perspective. These are glimpses into a greater reality. Some dismiss them as chance, but deep down, the soul recognizes the truth. There is more than what the eyes can see. Even time itself is an illusion of the physical world. The unseen realm is not bound by clocks, calendars, or schedules. It exists beyond linear constraints, operating in a way that transcends human understanding. This is why moments of deep connection, moments of spiritual awakening, moments of profound insight seem to exist outside of time. They are encounters with eternity, reminders that the soul is not confined to the ticking of the clock. The unseen is also evident in the power of words, thoughts, and intentions. What is spoken carries energy, shaping the reality around it. A word of encouragement can lift a soul, while a word of condemnation can break one. Thoughts influence emotions, decisions, and even the body. Science has begun to acknowledge this reality, recognizing the mind-body connection, the power of belief, the influence of perception on physical health. But this is something ancient wisdom has always known. The unseen forces of thought, intention, and faith are more powerful than the physical world suggests. People often dismiss the unseen because they cannot control it, cannot measure it, cannot fit it into the structures of logic and reason. Yet the most important aspects of life are unseen. Love, faith, hope, intuition, inspiration. These things shape reality in ways that go beyond physical forces. A single act of kindness can change a life. A moment of belief can shift an entire destiny. These are not things that can be weighed or counted, yet they are the most real aspects of human experience. The unseen realm operates on principles that are different from those of the physical world. In the material realm, scarcity is the rule. Resources are limited. Time is finite. Power is something to be fought for. But in the unseen realm, abundance is the truth. There is no lack, no competition, no fear. This is why faith operates differently than logic. The unseen realm does not function according to human expectations. It functions according to divine order. There are those who have tapped into the reality of the unseen and have lived differently as a result. Mystics, prophets, seekers, those who have walked in deep spiritual awareness. They have understood that the physical world is only a fraction of existence. They have moved through life with a peace that does not come from circumstances, with a confidence that is not based on external validation, with a wisdom that defies conventional knowledge. They have accessed a reality that is available to everyone, but embraced by few. To align with the unseen realm requires a shift in perception. Instead of being guided by what the eyes see, one must learn to trust what the soul knows. Instead of being driven by fear, one must move with faith. Instead of seeking only what is tangible, one must embrace what is beyond. This is not about rejecting the physical world, but recognizing that it is only part of the picture. The unseen realm speaks constantly, but few take the time to listen. It whispers through intuition, through dreams, through moments of stillness. It reveals itself in the patterns of nature, in the synchronicities of life, in the deep knowing that exists beyond logic. Those who pay attention begin to see the signs, to understand the language of the unseen. They begin to realize that nothing is random, that every experience carries meaning, that every encounter has purpose. Doubt is the great enemy of awareness. The physical world trains people to question what cannot be proven, to dismiss what cannot be explained. But doubt itself is an illusion, a barrier that keeps people from stepping into the fullness of their existence. The moment a person begins to trust in the unseen, to walk by faith rather than sight, their world begins to shift. Doors open that should have remained closed. Strength appears in moments of weakness. Direction becomes clear in places of confusion. Those who live in alignment with the unseen are not bound by the limitations of the material world. They do not fear what others fear because they know there is something greater beyond. They do not chase after temporary things because they are anchored in something eternal. They move with a confidence that is not arrogance, with a peace that is not fragile, with a purpose that is not easily shaken. Many have experienced moments where the unseen realm touches their lives, but they quickly dismiss them. A gut feeling warns them of danger and they ignore it. A dream reveals a truth and they call it coincidence. A deep inner knowing guides them, but they push it aside for what seems logical. Yet these moments are invitations, reminders that the unseen is always present, always speaking, always guiding. The physical world tries to keep people distracted, filling their lives with noise, busyness, and endless pursuits. But those who take the time to be still, to listen, to seek beyond what is seen, begin to experience a different reality. They find clarity where others find confusion. They find strength where others find struggle. They find meaning where others find emptiness. The unseen realm is not distant, not separate, not unreachable. It is woven into every breath, every moment, every heartbeat. It is the source of life, the foundation of reality, the truth that has always been. Those who recognize it begin to live differently. They are no longer bound by fear, no longer limited by what their eyes see. They walk with a deeper awareness, a greater purpose, a profound peace that the world cannot understand. The unseen is not something to be proven, it is something to be experienced. It is not something to be grasped by logic alone, but embraced by the heart. It is the essence of what has always been and what will always be. It is the truth behind the illusion, the reality beyond the temporary. It is the source of all things, the breath of existence, the power that moves through all of creation. It is the foundation upon which everything is built. the eternal presence that calls people beyond the physical and into the fullness of their true nature.